You know how
I took
like
6 years and you take 1 day.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Siobhan.
Hi, I'm Faith.
Hi, I'm Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Leah, and this is
ZULA ChickChats.
So today we're going to be talking about feelings and how you know your feelings for someone is infatuation or love. Let's start off with actually defining infatuation. Based on the internet and Google search, it has informed me infatuation is actually looking at someone and feeling like you like them, but always looking through a rose-tinted glass. You don't acknowledge the fact that he does good or bad. It's just everything to you is good. It stems from not knowing the person very well. Have you ever been infatuated with anyone in your life? Or, heard of some stories about infatuation gone wrong?
In today's age with Tinder especially, it's very easy to get infatuated with someone. For me, I get infatuated on a daily basis. I just swiping every day and then you see someone, oh my gosh. And you feel
Wait, you swipe every day?
Yeah. There was this guy that I went on a date with. He wasn't that hot, but I think because of the original perception that I had of him already when I was looking through his pictures and all that, I was like, oh my goodness, this person is really, he looks very gorgeous. Then even though his attitude and personality was a bit off, right? But I just didn't want to, I couldn't see that all. Usually infatuation doesn't last very long. After like 3 weeks, I realized that, oh, this guy is a bit... After a while, the tinted glass will just become clear.
Wow! I also was on Tinder like Faith. I started with my boyfriend. At first I wasn't very into him. Over the course of dinner, the more I talked to him, the more I liked him. I was very infatuated with the idea of being together with him because he was a very attractive person and we also got along very well. At first, I was really quite obsessed with my boyfriend. In the beginning, it would consume my every single thought. Literally every hour I would think about him and how when's the next time I'm gonna see him. All these impressions were formed from that one day.
Oh my god, it's from one day. One guy that I was infatuated with was actually my ex-boyfriend. I don't use Tinder lah. Yeah, so I didn't swipe right on him, but I can't swipe right in my head when I first saw him. Okay. The first day that we went on the date, we were together ever since. I think it's because of lust. You just keep thinking about oh, he's very cute, he's very cute, he's very cute, very cute, that kind of thing. I mean, you all discuss infatuation in terms of a relationship. I would discuss infatuation in terms of liking someone you don't even know at all because they're a celebrity or they're an idol. I would say when I was 15, right, I low-key obsessed with this group called Super Junior. Don't say low-key, I was really high-key obsessed. I went to all their concerts. I even flew to Malaysia to see them when I was 14, 15. I really like this member called Sangmin. Basically, when I was younger, I didn't think he had any flaws. I would defend him to no end. If someone ever said a hate thing about him, I would be the first one to be like, you don't know anything about him, oh my god, what are you saying? Basically, I joined forums or fan sites, right? And I was one of those people who go concerts and give out merchandise. And I also sneak my DSLR into the concert and take illegal photos. Some instances of me being completely infatuated is when I go to concerts, I'm dying for his attention. There's so many fans at the concert, right? Then I look at just oh my god, notice me! This one time I managed to throw this my fan side a towel on stage. He picked it up because I somehow managed to get him over my side by pointing. And then he came over to me, I was in a mosh pit and he smiled for my camera. My camera's freaking 5,000 frames per second. So nowadays I fantasize being in a relationship is unreal. And I was thinking, by the way, 8 years age difference between me and him, okay? So yeah, that was a little bit crazy. Talk about how some relationships, can be infatuation at first, but also lead into love. So for you guys, what are some signs that, indicate that it was love instead of infatuation?
I admit I can be a bit superficial sometimes, so I will look at looks. That's why I'm on Tinder, right? Yeah. After a few weeks, he came back with a completely transformed makeover or something. So he cut his hair and then he changed his style. Then I realized oh my goodness, this is totally not the style that I can live with. That was I mean, if I were really to like him, I wouldn't care if he had a mohawk or something.
Yeah. It was very intense at the start. It was very obsessive. I just wanted to see him all the time. As you get to know them better, and it's not only that, it's you compromise and you see their ugly side. But then you do realize this person is actually, you get along very well. Suddenly you just realize, it's love lah. You really care about the person and you see them as a very significant part of your life.
I would say in my situation, obviously I knew that it wasn't love because I don't even know the person very well. And now I like K-pop, obviously, and I would still have my idols that I like. So I like this guy from Monster, it's called Changkyun. But the thing is, right, I won't imagine that I'm together with him because I know it's just me enjoying and supporting him. Now I can rationally say that it's obviously not infatuation, but at that point in time, I cannot say that because I think I'll be xiao. If you end up being together with the person for a while, right, and you like the person, and you're not sure if it's infatuation or love, you can identify it in a sense that when you're making excuses for the person. For example, if the person is doing something bad,
you're like, no lah, he's just like that. Even when like 10 of your friends tell you, girl, get out of it. You need to understand the difference between just liking the idea of him as your boyfriend versus him actually being your boyfriend. Because think about it, 10 years down the road, right? You want to marry this guy or not? Can you imagine yourself being together with this guy, living in a house together with him, and accepting all these flaws?
My last relationship, right, how I realized it was love was that he started opening up to me and showing his vulnerabilities. So I think as women, we are infatuated with a guy, we want to see him very strong and very put together. When he opened up to me, right, I actually was overcome by this sense of, I don't know, is it like motherly instinct? As girls, I think we have that inside of us. Then I really wanted to like care for him.
There's a difference between both my relationships. My current one, where I got together with my best friend of 6 years, and my previous relationship where I was infatuated with him and we lasted for like 5 years plus. The previous one, right, I realized there were a lot of highs and lows. It's very common in relationships, right, where you don't really prioritize what you want in a partner. You just infatuate this person because because this person looks cute, for example, then you get together with him. And then you realize that, maybe fundamentally you guys are not very compatible. When you're infatuated with someone, you get a lot of like butterflies in the stomach feeling. Love is very, it's more calm, it's more steady. That's how I got together with my current boyfriend, because for all these years, right, I was just very comfortable with him.
Some people do think that infatuation is similar or linked to one-sided love, but is there such a thing as unconditional one-sided love in that sense?
If you really love the person, right, you can just love from afar. And that's why I believe in one-sided love also.
I don't really think one-sided love is actually a thing, because one-sided love is still obsession because it's not reciprocated. Love is two people who are actually whole by themselves and they come together like parallel lines are not that they never meet, but they're traveling along like the plane of life together.
It's not obsession because if the one-sided love is with a friend, or for example, you're someone you know for a very long period of time, but it just doesn't reciprocate your feelings for you.
If you don't reciprocate, right, like this person, it depends on the capability of how much you can love this person as well. If you're capable of doing that, your love doesn't change.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Whether or not it's accepted or not, it's still the same feeling that you have now.
You know the person for a very long period of time. You must really, really know the person very well. So in that sense, it's one-sided love rather than infatuation, because you know the person to a large extent. So, you guys, any advice for people who are very concerned with their state of love or infatuation?
As much as love is a feeling, I feel that it's actually largely a choice. If you choose to always like choose the good side, you always see the good things, you choose to love, you choose not to expect so many things in return, you just eventually become someone, you just become a loving person.
Love is something that you need to feed. That so it will grow, but infatuation is something that would like basically consume you and take over your life. So it's just like which fire feeds you.
Love is when you truly know the person well enough that you want to sacrifice things for them in order to make them happy, but at the same time not do it at the expense of yourself.
So today we talked about love and infatuation and also the differences between the both of them.
So if you guys have any opinions about love or infatuation or any stories to share, feel free to leave in the comments and also let us know what else you want us to talk about next time.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye!